Welcome to today's micro learning, and we are going to be looking at habits, tools, and the mindset for great PMs with one focused topic per day. What do you want to learn today? Looking for a small lesson with a big win? Today we are going to be looking at one reason projects fail, and this has to do with requirements definition and requirements gathering. So stick around for that quick micro lesson. Welcome to this video, and today we're going to start a micro learning series on why projects fail. Just a quick synopsis. And 70% of projects fail to deliver on what they are promising, and the causes, one of the major causes is unclear goals and poor planning and scope creep. That's a big bucket of why projects fail. The main reason that I'm going to look at today is just requirements definition and how that can lead to project failure. Top failure factor is just unclear requirements. We don't spend enough time defining what's needed, defining the assumptions, and also defining what the constraints are for projects. So we get in and we want to start the real work, and the project starts, and before you know it, we're in problems. This leads to cascading problems where, because it's poorly defined and you try to recover, then things just compound along the way. So requirements, establishing project scope, timeline, and success criteria is a critical foundation to project success. So let's look real quick at what are requirements. Defining the project objectives. And every time I mention this, I know that there are people in the room who, when they are hearing it, they're like, how are you doing a project and you don't know what the requirements are? And you'll be amazed at how not having it written may mean that different groups working on the project, different persons working on the project have a different idea. So it's not that there are no requirements. Somebody knows what the requirements are, but it's that it's not defined enough for everybody to be on the same page. Stakeholder needs, understanding and getting stakeholders to define what is it that they want, and not have to have you build it before they can decide what it should look like, because by then it's going to be super expensive to change. So creating also a decision baseline in terms of the authority that's going to drive the requirements in terms of time and changes and quality, because requirements cover a lot, way more than necessarily scope. Requirements is sort of the master of the triangle of time, cost, and scope. And there's a significant cost to ambiguity in requirements. 56% of failed projects is due to unclear requirements. So you want to make sure you get this defined. 30% of budget that's wasted is due to rework and poor requirements in the initial stages. And 70% of the time delays that happen in projects are due to requirements not being properly defined. All right, so having vague requirements, a healthcare software launch with a poorly defined needs will always lead to problem in terms of what is the focus, what are we trying to achieve, development issues, features being built that doesn't match what the staff needs, and it doesn't match their workflow. And these failures are costly. These failures are able to run in the millions of dollars. So the root cause of requirements issues is poor stakeholder engagement, not getting the stakeholders to sit at the table and review the documentation and tell us what their feedback is. Inadequate documentation. When you have rushed planning, when you know that the project is a go and we just start doing the work without defining what is required and presenting it to the stakeholders. Here's a challenge with stakeholders and stakeholder understanding requirements. You often have to present it in a way where the stakeholders can almost visualize what this is, to internalize it enough to know that that's not what they want. Because oftentimes their imagination is one of the limits. But at the end of it, when the project is finished and the deliverables are done, they will see it and know, oh, that doesn't match what I had in my mind. And then you end up with potential issues. Scope creep, again, scope creep is created when there's poor requirements definition and you have changes in what we're aiming to do because people are adding things here and there. So preventing requirements failure, engage your stakeholders, do clear documentation, have everybody review that, do routine updates, and maintain current requirements with formal change processes, which is something that happens on massive size projects, but oftentimes smaller projects treat this as if it's something that will happen in email or in a meeting, and there's no process for change and how you relate that to the original requirements that was discussed. All right, so the key takeaway: requirements foundation. You want to have a strong requirement definition and gathering process at the start. It helps in preventing waste, preventing rework, and eliminates just inefficiencies in projects. All right, so until next time, this is Rohan on the Smarter Manager, and I am happy to present you this micro learning session. And if you need more content on this, please feel free to let us know. All right, until next time. Thanks for watching to the very end, and please continue to support the channel. More episodes will be coming, small bite-sized pieces. We're going to push them out on a daily basis. So hope you find this useful, and until next time, take care and keep watching.